Hi there, this is Mark. I'm here at home and I'm doing my reading from the Golden Present Daily Inspirational Readings by Sri Swami Satchidananda. And I'm reading these for 365 days, and it's been getting challenging recently. Um, yeah, it's kind of interesting to follow a practice and to weather through all the different climates that happen and how that affects my relationship to it. And it's like any commitment to a person, place, or thing. It goes through all these things, and I think we get tested. So I feel like somehow August has become that. This is the reading for August 7th, and it's a whole page here, so I'm going to jump right into it. The topic is, at a certain level, you're able to see both sides. This is a question and answer. Question. Everything comes from God, and thus everything is God. Therefore, how can it be said that there is a true self and not a true self, and not true self? Or that I am not the body, not the mind? It is like saying God is everything except the body, mind, etc. Swami Satchidananda, Sri Gurudev, affectionately termed that way, we call him Sri Gurudev as our teacher. He says, very true. When you know that everything is God, and when you are experiencing everything as God, then you don't even say, I am not the body, I am not the mind. The fellow who says, I am not the body, not the mind, is not experiencing everything as God. So there are different levels. When you are at the lower level, you say, this is self and this is non-self. The duality comes. That's how you begin. But as you go further and further, everything becomes the self, capital S, including body and mind, right and wrong. There is no wrong then. Even the so-called wrong is also right. In one of his prayers, the great sage Acharya Shankara praises God in this way. There is a Hindu form of worship called Archana, in which you order flowers and repeat the name of God and his attributes. At one point he says, O Lord, in the form of anger, my salutations to you. O Lord, in the form of lust, I am saluting you. How can that be? One should not have lust. At the same time he is saying, God, in the form of lust, my salutations to you. It looks like a contradiction, does it not? It is not a contradiction if you put them all on the same level. On one level, even lust becomes God. But at another level, when you don't know how to use it, it becomes a terrible thing. And here comes tuna. When you don't understand it, when you're looking at it in the wrong way, it becomes something undesirable. After all, there is only God. At a certain level, you are able to see it from both sides. Then you see that they are one and the same. There's no difference at all. At that point, you say, O lust, my salutations. O jealousy, my salutations. Because you're a quality of God. There's nothing other than God. Without God, nothing is possible. So it depends upon your level of growth. Both are correct at their levels. So we should not condemn any philosophy. People look at things from various sides. To them, it's right. If you put yourself in their position, you will know they are right. Allow them to continue that way. Cool. This one I really like. And it's something that I've begun to understand better in my practice is the relationship that I have with duality and that we have as human beings. I feel like we're brought to see that there's a cat and there's a person. Yes, there's a tuna cat. Hi, tuna cat. And, we're taught to see there's a right and there's a wrong. There's hot, there's cold, there's high, there's low. And there's all these dualities in this kind of a spectrum. And that's how we understand how to find our spot in the world. Are we right or are we wrong? Are we this or are we that? And it's from that that I feel like we can either stay there and completely identify as that is the only spectrum there is, or begin to see that, both of them are, um, situated in this whole uh, kind of collective experience where there is a sense of oneness or wholeness. And these are all just parts or aspects of that wholeness. We tend to think that there's, maybe one that should be here, one that shouldn't be here, but they're all here, all exist as one experience. And something I was thinking about was in my class tonight. I taught a Hatha flow class, and I talked about the flow between hellos and goodbyes, and that in the practice on the mat we can experience this, saying hello to a pose and then we leave it, say goodbye, and there's just this flow going between the two that we get to experience, and that we can experience that in our, we experience that in life every day. We say hello, goodbye to the day, but really it's in a way they're one and the same, like the yin yang symbol, where one side is the white and one side is the black in that circle. One side is the hello, one side's the goodbye, and they're just this thing that appears to have a separate nature, but we really are always present. We have this moment of the golden present, and so we're never really having to say hello or goodbye. We're always, present. So it's this interesting thing where we think of it as that they're in contrast. But my favorite part of this is how he's recognizing there just simply are different levels of understanding the existence of things. Just like I'm only able to understand how the internet works to a certain degree. I can only comprehend it so much, and how this camera is even collecting all these, this image and creating pixels and then transferring it to you. Like that's just, I can't fully wrap my head around how all that works. Whereas, someone else, it completely makes sense to them. It's just a very fluid, obvious concept that it's just completely abstract for me. Not completely, but pretty much. So there's just different levels of how we understand, and if we were to study, and if I were to go deeper into this, and I were to talk with, people who do all this, scientists and mathematicians and physicists, and maybe I'd understand, or maybe I'd get more confused. But the concept that there's just different levels of understanding and even learning about things, I appreciate that. Okay, that's going to be my reading for tonight. So thank you for watching these, and hopefully I did a test for the sound earlier, so hopefully all's back on track. All right, see you tomorrow.